What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lights and Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, This is to Relaxation, and we are back again with another episode. As always, before I start, be sure to share this podcast. If you like it, rate it, make it grow, help it reach more listeners. And before I get started, I do want to say, even though I usually always say this, this might be a short episode. No, stop. But because literally, a lot been going on, and I guess I kind of lost track of needing to get my podcast notes together. So I literally have nothing to I kind of know what I'm going to talk about, just have nothing written down. So this is all going off my head. So more than likely I'm not going to get everything out because this is not planned ahead. So this is me literally just going off and seeing what happens. So damn, I think my last episode was a guest episode. I think so. Jeez. So I think it's been a while since I did what I've been up to segment. I feel like I kind of forgot everything that I have been up to that I probably wanted to talk about beforehand. So I'm just gonna talk about the stuff that just happened recently. As this time of recording, the Kanye West and Drake albums have been released. They are continuing their so-called feud. I have not listened to any of the albums yet because one, I no longer care for their music, and two, I don't like how, well, this one is me talking about people in general, but I don't like how people it's like the same old thing with Kanye, and I feel like it's also the same old thing with Drake. With Drake music, it'll come out, people will instantly be like, this is a classic, I only listen to 2 songs, but he haven't missed yet, and just constantly riding him. And it's probably within a year or so, nobody don't really talk about that album no more. There's only the few hardcore listeners who probably still enjoy it, but publicly it's not talked about no more. Then Kanye is the opposite. People ever since My Dark Twisted Fantasy, it's just been every project he dropped, it's oh, Kanye trash. Well, even before that, I'm gonna get into that in a second, but people are oh, Kanye is trash, then he did some stupid noise in the album, nobody don't want to hear that. And then 5 years later, that album was a cult classic. People still talk about it, people still preach about it, and then the people who didn't really enjoy it before end up finding a newfound love for it. And I'm I really need to digest things. I can't just keep having these immediate emotional reactions to things. I remember when 808s and Heartbreak came out, and instantly the hate I was hearing from people at school and whatnot, oh man, you over here with that auto-tune singing stuff, man, that's not real hip-hop, nobody don't want to hear that. That's when we were still debating what's real hip-hop and what's not. And then obviously a lot of mama raps that happened, but whatever. But yeah, so no, they're that ain't real hip-hop, nobody don't want to hear that auto-tune and that singing. And then it's I'm the only one who was sitting here like, oh yeah, I don't get it. Like, this album was amazing. I don't understand how y'all not understanding it. Like, I love that album since it first came out, and to this day I still love that album. Like, but the fact that album now is like one of his masterpieces, like at this point in time, like how long it took y'all to come around to finally get into this stuff. So if I was to choose which one I'm gonna listen to, because I ain't gonna like both of these albums, I don't know how long they are. Both of them's like 20 plus songs. Like, damn, like y'all still out here making these long albums. What's wrong with y'all? I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna probably listen to Kanye's album. I'm not gonna listen to Drake's at all because I no longer care for his music. But I don't even know if I'm gonna listen to Kanye's album, just because it's like I haven't listened to a Kanye album in complete since Yeezus. I skipped My Dark Twisted Fantasy, and I recently tried to go back. I listened to most of it. I don't think I listened to it in its entirety before to this date, but I think I listened to majority of it. That like I know the songs that's on there. Yeah, after Yeezus, it was like, no, I was done with Kanye music as well. Like, he's dope, but I don't know. It feels like it's the same now. Like, it's just dopeness, but I don't know. Like, it's just there. It's hard to explain. Of course, my favorite project from him will always be Late Registration. That's my album. Bruh, I love that album. But that's about it. Other than that, music wise, I already talked about Isaiah Rashad. I'm still listening to the album actually to this day. Like, like I had that problem. I almost had that problem where, like I told before, that when I listen to like songs before the project come out, and now when I hear the project, like I just want to hear that song or the whole project sounding like that song. And when I first listened to the project, because the song was there, I was expecting it. It was cool. It didn't change how I felt going forward. Like, the song came on, that was it, and we went to the next song. But I found two more songs within the album. And I'm trying to put where they are in the song. Number 12, Chad, featuring YGTUT, and number 14, Score, featuring SZA and Black, well, spelled with a 6 instead of a B. This was my first listen through. When I got to these two songs, and it's 16 songs in the whole project, so I had to get down to damn near the bottom of the project to find these two songs. Amazing. So my second listen through, I just want to hear these songs, but I gotta get through 11 songs before I get to the first one. But as I'm going through, I'm getting a newfound love for all of them. Like, before, I didn't think I would like the second song, From the Garden, with Little Uzi, because I don't really listen to Uzi, but I messed with that song. Lay With Ya, that was another song that was I believe that was like his single with that and Headshots. I didn't care for it when I first heard it, but now, like, when you listen to it with the album, it's amazing. Claymore is another one that's amazing. All Herb is dope. True Story was weird for me, cause J-Rock sound different. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, usually J-Rock have like a kind of, it's hard to explain. Like, it's not raspy, but it's like, I don't know. Like, you can tell his voice when you hear it. So when I'm sitting here like, oh, cause J-Rock on the last album, probably one of my favorite J-Rock verses I ever heard from him. I don't listen to J-Rock like that, period. So that I actually listened to his album. I forgot the one, still with the numbers. That had Vice City on it. See if I can find it real quick. Yeah, 90059. I actually listened to that album. I enjoyed it, but that on Isaiah Rashad's The Sunshine album, he had a verse on one of the songs that was like, yo, he went in. So I was expecting like, oh, you got J-Rock on here again? He might like snap. So I'm just sitting here waiting for J-Rock, and I'm hearing the second guy just go off. I'm like, he's nice, but I don't know who he is. And then he starts referencing being in TDE and whatnot, but he never says his name. And I'm like, is this J-Rock? And then the third guy comes in pretty much right after that, which is actually funny. His name is Jay Worthy. They both have the name is Jay, and he sounds completely different from J-Rock. So I'm like, oh, that second dude was J-Rock. So I had to listen to the album again, and now I had to go. Now I went in with the expectation, like, okay, this guy is J-Rock, so now let me actually pay attention to what the hell he was saying. And he actually, like, again, he went in. Like, J-Rock could be going in on features. But yeah, this whole album is dope. I'm still playing it to this day. I forgot when this came out. I think at the end of August. No, July. At the end of July. My bad, because we just actually left August. Time going fast. At the end of July, and here we are. I started when I released the episode. It was like early August. And we're September now, and I'm still listening to the album. So, yeah, if y'all have not listened to The House is Burning by Isaiah Rashad, I definitely recommend that one. Yeah, that's mainly it for music. I don't think I'm really listening to anything else that's new, unless I'm bugging. Actually, well, I don't want to say it's new. I have been listening to some projects. They're actually old. Like, I just love going back to finding new music and then finding out that it came out a long time ago, and I'm like, damn, where the hell was I during this time period? And then I see the year and I'm like, oh yeah, I was not in that mindset when this came out. So yeah, but in terms of new music, yeah, I'm just listening to Isaiah Rashad at this point. Actually, Kendrick dropped. I'm not gonna say Kendrick. Baby Keem and Kendrick dropped the song together. Where Kendrick finally made, I guess, his reemergence since, I don't know, the last time he dropped the verse or something. And yeah, just basically letting these rappers know that I don't care about your accolades. Y'all still beneath me. And yeah, and be ready for the new album. Which, I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Kendrick is one of the people that I have no expectation for him when he drops a project. So when I listen to it, either I'll like it or don't. I completely skipped when the hype for his first album came out, because everybody was like, you know, it was just a week later, but is it a classic? I'm like, oh yeah, yes it is. So I wasn't, yeah, out here talking about classics in a week. All right, I guess. So I didn't listen to the album when it first came out. That album came out 2011. I probably did not hear that album until 2013. I want to say, I don't even think so. Because I knew I listened to it right before To Pimp a Butterfly came out. I'm on my way to searching everything. When did Pimp a Butterfly? I think it came out 15. Yeah, 2015. So yeah, then they're the earliest or latest I had listened to the album was 2015. So yeah, it took a while for me to actually listen to Mad City. Mad City actually came out 2012. There you go. So like 3-8 years. I listened to it and I enjoyed it a lot. And then I mentioned that the first time I heard To Pimp a Butterfly, I actually was disgusted by it. Like, it gave me a terrible feeling inside. And then I listened to it again, and then I actually end up loving it. So it's weird. Damn, the first time I listened to it, it felt like whatever. It just felt like an album. I listened to it again. I enjoyed it a lot more, but I have not been in the mood to go back to it. Like, because I like to listen to projects. I don't like to just listen to like, hey, I just want to hear a Kendrick song. Like, I'll just be like, hey, I haven't listened to a Kendrick album in a few months. Let me put on an album of his. Like, just recently, actually, I just recently listened to Pimp a Butterfly a few weeks ago. And yeah, I actually started enjoying more songs more, like Mama and How Much a Dollar Costs. I really just like, you know, tune out to those songs. The first time, I think it probably my third listen when I heard Mama for the third time, and I actually was like just sitting there listening to it, and like there was like this little melody or sample in the beat that I didn't catch the first few listens. I'm like, yo, this beat sounds amazing. So yeah, there's a lot of new things to discover. Like I said, don't just go into your albums just hearing 2 songs and saying things are classic. Like, actually sit there and digest it. Like, you might end up liking songs more. Like, I do that with my favorite rappers still to this day. Like, I would go back and still find songs from early in his career that's like, damn, how the hell did I just completely glance over that? Yeah. Going into movies and shows, I have been watching this show on Netflix. I kind of slowed down on it because I don't know, something is telling me not to rush it. And not only that, these episodes are actually kind of long, like 45 minutes or so long or more long. It's like basically watching a movie each episode. So I'm not rushing it, and there's 2 seasons. Like, jeez. So it's this show on Netflix. It's an Indonesian, whatever, not whatever, but you know how to pronounce it. It's an Indonesian series on Netflix, and I wasn't understanding it at first until like I kept on watching the other episodes. So I think the show is called Nowhere Girl, something like that. To summarize what I'm seeing so far, the show is basically about this girl who's pretty much represents the embodiment of karma. So she will come, and her thing is like she's a high school student, she's a young girl, but every episode she would go into a new high school. So every episode is a whole new setting, new cast, new characters. So nobody don't know anything about what happened previous episode, which made me confused the second episode because the school uniform was almost the same as the first episode. So I'm like, y'all gonna act like that didn't just happen? And then the third episode happened and it's another school uniform, but it's a whole new color, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, and then they kept on referencing that, oh, she's a new student here and nobody don't know about her. So I'm like, oh, okay. So she's constantly like, she would go to these schools, find people, whether there's other students or teachers, and like, I don't know, sometimes it would be like she will realize it herself. Like, she will like, you know, notice people and notice that they have like these hidden desires or hidden secrets, and she will come in as like the temptation of, hey, do you want this? I can give this to you. But then when she does it, she kind of like, she's quick to like expose, like she puts you in a situation where it will expose you for not obtaining this the right way. So it's kind of like just for making the character freak out. How they gonna handle it? Will they find out that they're not who they say they are and whatnot? How it's gonna affect everybody else? Yeah, so the show is trippy. I don't want to say it's horror. It's like psychological thriller, I want to say. And yeah, one of the episodes was kind of like, yeah, kind of ruined it. But it's still cool. I mean, I don't know. I am watching the What If on Netflix, the Marvel still. I don't know if I even talked about them the last solo episode, but if I have not, well, we on episode 4 now. Have we recording this? The last episode was the Doctor Strange. What if he lost his heart instead of his hand, which was a symbolism for what if he basically lost his love life, and instead of him losing his hands to start the journey, he lost the woman he loved to start his journey to becoming, who he is. But like, I get it. Like in the movie, it was like, his hands was everything to him. Like he didn't care about anything as long as he could do his job. That's what he prided himself on, being good at what he does and whatnot. So when he lost it, like he basically lost everything, and of course he come to realize that meant nothing to him once he became the Sorcerer Supreme and whatnot. So cool, but this one is different because like, you can lose your hands and still, come back from it type thing. Like, you can take personal injuries and hurt and still come back for it, but to take a loss from someone else, like, yeah, his hands is forever gonna be messed up. As long as he's using magic, he'll be cool. But if he's not, his hands will forever be messed up. But whether he got magic or not, she's always going to be gone. And it's like, that's something even harder to deal with. So that's what he was like constantly dealing with. Like, yeah, I did it all so far. Well, in the time span of 2 years, like, I did all of these crazy things, but it don't matter because she's still not here. And it's like, it just led into like this spiral of him going through time and trying to bring her back and whatnot, and just craziness. But yeah, then it just goes deeper and darker into that. The one before that was like, I don't know what the What If story was, but it's kind of what if the Avengers, I guess, was never formed by the scenarios that kind of got them on the radar. Basically, it took which was it? They dubbed it Nick Fury's big week in the MCU, where in the week span, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, and Thor was happening roughly around the same time in the MCU timeline. So when all of those scenes was happening, tragedy kept on happening, which in the trailer they showed Iron Man dying. I don't know what else they showed in the trailer, so I'm not gonna spoil the rest of what happens, I guess. But yeah, and then the revealing of like why he died and how he died and whatnot. I don't know. It was cool, but I don't know. It was whatever, honestly. Like, it felt too comedy than dark to me. Like, that Doctor Strange one was dark. Like, yeah, I don't know. The one after that, well, before that was what if T'Challa became Star-Lord. So instead of them picking up Peter Quill, they picked up T'Challa when he was a kid and took him away, and he ended up becoming Star-Lord, which is like amazing. It was probably probably one of the amazings. Like, what if? To be honest, that was probably one of the what ifs that I cared less about, because I'm like, I don't really care about that. Like, T'Challa being Star-Lord, like who really sits there and think about that crap? Like, that, I don't know. I felt like the most like reach what if, like they were just reaching for something. But that one was probably one of the best executed ones. Like, it was like a complete 180, like making him like this amazing Star-Lord that everyone knows and love, compared to the movie, like nobody didn't know who the hell Peter was. So it's like amazing, like the way they just flipped it all around. So that was dope. I do not know what the next episode is. Actually, the next episode should be out when this episode, when this episode comes out. So I can't talk about it. But yeah. And I'm excited, very excited. I ain't gonna be able to talk about this one for a while either, but the Wu-Tang second season, the saga is finally coming out this week. Hype. I'm definitely hyped to watch that. I was like invested in the first one, and this one's gonna finally have like all of them, because I know a lot of people complain like, yo, where's this guy, where's this one? So this one is pretty much gonna have majority of all the main Wu-Tang members in this one. I'm just hyped about it. But yeah, that's mainly it. Yeah, I don't think I'm watching anything else at this moment. Yeah, I think that does it for what I've been into. Actually, I have been streaming as well. I've been streaming this game called Abduction, which is, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking a lot, but it gives me a headache. But it's fun. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like it definitely makes you like think and had to really dig into your mind. You had to constantly remember things and where things go and where you supposed to go. It doesn't really hold your hand and tell you where things are. Like, you just get hints what to do, and then it's a matter of you finding out how to do it. It's one of those games that have a lot of puzzles, a lot of clues, and all of that. So yeah, there's some moments in the stream where I just been completely stuck, and I was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm done. And then I'll come back. I'll come back and like start progressing and stuff. But I don't know. It's dope. Hoping to finish the game, because I don't know how close I am to finish the game, but I'm finally figuring out what my next step is. So next time I play that, I'm gonna do that and go into it. Yeah, so now that's everything I've been up to. So like I said, this I don't have like, I didn't have a topic written down or nothing. I literally thought about this topic kind of yesterday, I want to say, and I was on the fence about talking about it because the name of the podcast is Relaxing Thoughts, and this isn't really a relaxing topic, but I don't know, I just feel like I want to address it. Like, I know 2020 was, to most people, the hard year, and the difficult year because of what we got put into. But this year was very interesting, both good and bad. I don't want to, it's hard to explain this, like the world is is very big, and a lot of things happen without us knowing. There's a lot of things that's happening like at this very moment that we do not know about, or that don't get discussed at all, and things that like we take for granted and whatnot. And then there's amazing things that's happening as well. This year it's just been like, in terms of like, so I'm discussing the deaths that have been happening this year, or the close near deaths or whatnot. Like, this year alone, like all the rappers that passed away, like, yeah, we had artists who passed away before, but like most of these guys, you know, I was raised on their music. It was like losing what you grew up on. Like, I don't know, like, I guess it's one of the first times where death has been knocking so close to me. Like, I haven't had a close, like, relative, family, friend death, like, to me personally, that like impacted me since my uncle, which was, I believe, in 2001, I want to say. And just this year, I lost another family member, and like that one hurt too, because this was the first time. This was a death, like I said, 2001. I was only in first grade at the time. If anything, the latest second grade, so I was still young. Like, even though I have some memories with him, but like, no, it's not enough to base your whole life and memories around it. Like, I just have a few memories and moments with him, and that's mainly it. But like, this is the first time, like, this is someone who's been in my life since the day I've been born to now, like, seeing me grow up, and to lose them, this is the first time, like, it's been like that. And how it all happened is just, I don't know, it was a different experience, but it was an experience that I always feared because of how long it's been. Granted, I don't want to like wish death on my family members or whatnot, but it's like how long it has been since that last impact hit me. Granted, I have lost other family members beforehand that like affected other people that I know in my life, like my mother and whatnot. Like, she lost like close family members that I know them, but my relationship and my bond with them is not that tight where it didn't hurt me too much. And so it was like, and then dealing with all the stuff I was dealing with depression and all of that, I was afraid that I wouldn't overcome my depression in time for that, like, to me to lose someone, and I don't know how I would function, or I would be afraid of knowing that I did just recently overcome it, and then this happened, and would that just snap me right back into it, like, oh, that progress is right out the window type thing. I don't want to say I prepared for it. I was told about it like beforehand. Granted, this is something that she's been dealing with like probably a decade, like over a decade. She was dealing with cancer, and so it was like the fact that she came this far, it kind of felt like, I don't know, it kind of felt like she would be good type thing. Like, she came this far, she can go even further type thing. So to find out that it was like it was the final rope of it, So I already knew like beforehand, before it happened. And then around that time, a movie that came out, which I talked about that movie, and I kinda like glossed over that movie, well, that moment in that for that movie, because I mentioned that there was a scene and there's a song in the movie In the Heights, that I always like. I envision it being her, and now that the way they changed the moment in the song, and what happened after that song, and then knowing that what possibly was gonna happen to her, that's what made me cry and watching that movie. So it was like I got my first cry out about accepting what was going to happen, but it still didn't change. Like when it did happen, I still had my moment. But yeah, I mean, I dealt with it a lot better than I thought I would. Like, yeah. So there's that. There's other people I'm down close with losing people, or family members that they're close to in their lives. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like this year is like just some kind of cleansing or something. I don't know how to explain it. Like, just a lot of people just going away this year, and like I said, it's the first time like for it to be so close to me. Like all the raps that passed away, like DMX, like come on, that was like the embodiment of the early 2000s for me. Shock G, I mean, I always loved his verse more than Tupac's verse, and I Get Around. I don't know why, it was just like how smooth he was with it. Even though Tupac wrote the verse, it was like how he did the verse, it was like smooth as hell. And all his other songs with Digital Underground that I enjoyed. And then of course, not only that, he brought us Tupac as well. Like, to lose him, we lost Biz Markie, Black Rob. Actually, just the other day, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was yesterday, we lost Michael K. Williams, the actor who played Omar, which, crazy enough, I've been debating on rewatching that series because I love that series a lot. And then I'm watching clips on YouTube, and then scroll down on the comments, and I'm seeing people talking about R.I.P. and I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, like I don't know, like a lot of people that like I knew Michael K. Williams like stuff before The Wire. Like, I always knew about the dude with the scar on his face and like movies and music videos and whatnot. Even just the year before the ending of 2020, I lost my favorite rapper, MF Doom. Like, I don't know, like for it to all be so close, I guess, like I said, to me, like emotionally, like these deaths have a meaning to me. Like usually when people die, like we just look over it like, oh, they die, like rest in peace, my condolences. But what did it really matter to you, type thing? Like, you have no real personal investment. And it's the first time like I had personal investment with all these people that have been passing away, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I tend to think of like, what are these things? Like, what am I supposed to learn from experience in life and whatnot? Like, what am I supposed to gain from all these losses? And granted, I am in a point in my life right now where something very positive is happening to me, and I guess this is things that's just molded me to take this next step in this journey in my life even better. like I said, I don't know. I didn't want this to be like sad though. It's like I don't know. I just want, like everyone should just definitely cherish, like, you know, your loved ones, whatnot. Don't take people for granted. Even if you like, I don't want to say if you worship idols or celebrities. I don't believe in that, but like people that you idolize and look up to, like even that, like going into like the Drake and Kanye West beef thing, like people out here taking sides and stuff. Like they both make good music, just enjoy it both. Like why it gotta be one or the other? Like their feud do not personally involve you guys at all. Like it has nothing to do with you guys. Just enjoy the music they're making, because you never know when one of them may stop for reasons that's not their own. And like, just gotta cherish these moments with them. Like just the other day, I was hanging out with my brother and my nephew. Like usually I don't, or usually I'm just like reluctant to it because it's like my schedule, like the time people usually do things is time I'm usually probably asleep because of like my working schedule and whatnot. So I literally was up for 24 hours that entire day because I had a busy day. First I had to work, and then I had to do something after that, and then I'm like, and then he like, trying to hang out so we could take him school shopping, and I'm like, sure. Like I'll try my best. Like, you know, I'm tired. So we hung out. You know, it was cool. It was fun. I was tired the entire time, and one of those things I hate the most when you're tired and then you go to sleep and I guess you kind of sleep too long. And I woke up with the craziest headache. I'm like, I'm talking about. But you know, it's moments like that. You know, even though it was bad for me, you know, hopefully it's something that my nephew enjoyed and loved, and something that he could remember, so like he can have memories of me and whatnot when he gets older. It's all about that, just building those memories and experiences so you can grow and learn from them and cherish them. But I don't know, man. I honestly don't know what else to talk about. This was, it's because my schedule, because like I didn't work on certain days, like the days that I normally would have myself like ready to record. I was just relaxing, just chilling, doing me, streaming. So by the time like I'm like, oh, Wednesday, it just snuck up on me. Gotta get this podcast out. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna end it here though. Hopefully I have something more relaxing and positive to talk about. But I don't even want to use I don't even want to use this topic as question of the day. So I'm just gonna stick to like, I guess, media or whatever. Like, I don't know, what is an album or a movie or a show that you're looking forward to that hasn't came out yet, or maybe a game that you're looking forward to that hasn't came out yet. And if there is something that already have came out, are you still enjoying it? Like the Isaiah Rashad album I mentioned. Like, I don't know. Leave it on a positive note. I think that's it. As always, you like this podcast, so you know someone else who would like this podcast or a podcast in general, don't be afraid to share it. Don't try to make me an underground podcaster. I'm trying to get blown up here. No, it's not. But let me just share it. Spread the love, spread the vibes, whatnot. And rate the podcast. And I think that's it. So I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day and week. And see you guys next episode. Peace.